Hello everyone, my name is Ben Ramirez, and today we're going to be talking about the Galaxy S7's camera app. Now today we have our beautiful model. Her name is Alicia. Say hello, Alicia.
Hello.
And she has proudly accepted to volunteer in this project that I'm doing, and we're going to be talking about a lot of cool stuff. We're going to be talking about how we can take cool photos at a moment's notice. Now, this is in no way to tell you how to replace the Galaxy S7 with a DSLR. If you certainly have that camera, go ahead and use that by all means. But this is for your everyday users that are out there, the people that are out there that want to get, really good shots with your Galaxy S7 without any kind of hassle. You don't have to get your props, you don't have to get your spotlights, you don't have to use any of that stuff. We just want to show you how to get the best shot. Okay, so I have my phone up right now, and we're going to go ahead and open up the Galaxy's camera app. Now I'm going to have it in landscape mode because we want to basically have a full screen experience. I hate doing a portrait shot because you don't get the full width viewing space. So just for the sake of this training video, I'm going to go ahead and show it in landscape mode. Now, I have Alicia in front of me. Now, by default, the camera will start up in auto mode. As you can see, if I go ahead and take a couple of shots here, it'll do the job. It'll do the job just fine. I can go ahead and scroll through these pictures, and she looks just as beautiful as ever. But there is a bit of a problem. Now, auto mode will determine the best lighting. It'll try to determine what kind of exposure it's going to need, what kind of ISO it's going to need, and sometimes that's not good enough. So let me go ahead and show you a couple of things. Now, if we go to the mode category and choose Pro mode, now we have all these nice little gadgets that are right here. Like we have this shutter speed parameter, we have the ISO parameter, WB, which stands for white balance, and the manual focus or autofocus that we can use in order to get close-ups and get that soft little background that we call depth of field. Now let's take a couple of shots in Pro mode. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and start this out at about, let's say 90th of a second with a WB of about auto. In fact, I'll just choose auto for now, with an ISO of about 100. I'm going to do this on purpose so you can see, it's already dark as it is, but I'm going to go ahead and just take a close-up shot. Okay, one more. All right. And as we can look at this, of course, it's not that clear. It's actually kind of dark, actually, so you need to fix that. Well, to do that, we go ahead and go into the shutter speed. We can actually even slow that down even more to about 1/30th of a second with an ISO about 200. But as you notice, the ISO, which is responsible for the level of sensitivity of light that enters into the lens, it does become a little bit bleached out, and we don't really want to do that. So we kind of want to make sure that it's blended in with the picture and the environment. So let's go ahead and fix the ISO, and I will set that to about 100. Now I'll take the shot. One more. Maybe just one more. All right. So as you observe in this picture, as you can see here, and if the camera can't really get that close here, but this is a very clear shot, and I can see that there's not too much noise. There's a lot of clarity in the picture. There's a lot of detail that you can see that wasn't there with the auto mode, and I think that's very important because sometimes auto mode isn't really going to give you that kind of clarity and that kind of sharpness. All right, so let's keep going. Now, a little bit about that shutter speed. When I'm viewing the subject here, viewing Alicia here, the shutter speed is basically determining how fast that lens or the shutter is going to close against the light. So if it's at a high number, for example, a high number would be 1/30th of a second compared to 1,000th of a second. 1,000th of a second is much, much smaller, which means it's going to be faster. So if I go to a faster shutter speed at about 1,000th of a second, which is about right there, actually I'll just choose 2,000. Well, we can't see her, it's too dark. So then I have to increase my ISO. Well, I can do that. I can increase the ISO all the way to 800, and maybe then go ahead and just choose a slower speed about 7/50th of a second. Maybe that's still too dark. Maybe I'll go to 3/50th of a second. A little close-up shot there. All right. The problem with the ISO being too high is that if we notice, in fact, let me get to a better picture, is that it's too noisy. You'll notice a lot of background noise, and that's not a very good thing to have. So My suggestion to you is that you want to have a lower ISO, something that's between 400 or excuse me, 400 below and not above 400. Otherwise, it's going to get too noisy. Now, in some situations, if I take a shot in a very dark spot, then you're going to need to do it. You're going to need to increase the ISO and even raise, or I should say increase the shutter speed's time to where it's about a 30th of a second. That way you can get the best shot in a very dark lit area. Otherwise, you might have to use flash. And sometimes that's the only thing you can do.